There she is. Okay, welcome, Lama Tsering Everest. Thank you so much for joining.
Good morning.
Good morning. And of course, welcome everybody to our Text of the Month event today. Today, our text is translated as a melody of the sublime, everlasting deathlessness, a song to remember the inconceivable secrets of Arya Chintamani Chakratara. And you will find this text, of course, in our waiting room. And it's a text composed by our main author here in the Cancer Vision Project, who is, of course, Jamin Khyentse Wangpo. And it was wonderfully translated by 3 translators, Adam Kane, Dana Ming, and Nisheta Jagdiani. And I don't think all of them can join today because of the little bit difficult in the time zoning. And today, as you can see, we have the great pleasure and honor to have Lama Tsering Everest with us to guide us through this wonderful text. For those who don't know her yet, Lama Tsering was born in the USA and served as a translator for Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche for 11 years. And then, like 30 years ago, she completed a 3-year retreat and was then ordained as a Lama and recognized by Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche as a holder of the Red Tārā lineage and authorized to give teachings and empowerments. And this is what she is doing since then, teaching, across the globe. Of course, a lot in Brazil and Chile, New Zealand, Australia, Europe, USA. And she is the resident Lama and director of Chagdud Gonpa Odsal Ling in São Paulo. And before we begin, Lama, I would like to introduce you to Dolma, who is our great project holder, our executive and creative director, Dolma Gunther from Australia.
Hello, Lama Tsering. It's so lovely to see you again.
Thank you. It's nice to see you too.
I think I haven't seen you in person for many, many years, but it's a delight to see your face once more. It's really lovely. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this teaching for us and for taking the time. I know that you're busy, so we very much appreciate your kindness in coming to give a talk for us. And I'm especially excited because I know this text is so beautiful. And it's so lovely to evoke the presence of White Tara in this teaching, with you teaching on this beautiful text. So thank you so much for agreeing to teach for us, and I'm very thrilled to have you here on behalf of the project. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and before we start, I want to mention some housekeeping notes. So if you can, please keep your video on. That is always nice for Lamala to see you, that she knows who she is talking to. And feel very welcome to send questions in the chat. You can do that on YouTube or here in the chat, and then we will bring these questions together. And Lamala agreed that she will take some time to answer those. And I also would like to let you know that we have 5 languages in which we are translating this event. So you can go to the small globe sign below, and there you will find the Russian translation by Olga, also known as Jigme, then the Chinese by Stephanie, the Portuguese by Luciano, the French by Olivia, and the Spanish by Christina. Okay, then let me recite the prayers, and then we will start. So, if it's okay with everybody, we do it in English. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha Sublime, we seek refuge until awakening. By virtue of our giving and the like, may we awaken to benefit all. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha Sublime, we seek refuge until awakening. By virtue of our giving and the like, may we awaken to benefit all. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha Sublime, we seek refuge until awakening. By virtue of our giving and the like, may we awaken to benefit all. Then a praise to Jimmy Khense Wangpo. The blessing of Manjushri appearing as the emanation of Vimala Mitra, the 13th rebirth of Gyaltse Laje, Pema Do Ngak Lingpa, holder of the 7 special transmissions, Jimmy Khense Wangpo, to you we pray. Then let's offer a short mandala. The earth is perfumed with scented water and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. Imagining this at the Buddha realm, I offer it, so that all beings may enjoy that pure realm. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. In accordance with the capabilities and the diverse aspirations of sentient beings, we ask you to please turn the wheel of Dharma of the greater, lesser, or conventional vehicles. Okay, thank you so much, Lamala. Thank you so much for being here with us, and the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here also. Maybe we could start with a 7-line prayer, just because I'm so accustomed. I kind of feel like I haven't, I'm not really able to go on without doing that. So let's start with that, if we don't mind. Ujing, Eugene, and John Song, Bema, Gesa, Dumbo, Yatsen, Joging, and Drubne, Bema, June, Shesura, Guru, Kandro, Mambo, Kor, Keke, Jesu, Randru, Ki, Jinje, Lobshe, Shesu, So, Guru, Pema, Siri, Hum, Ujing, Eugene, and John Song, Pema, Gesa, Dumbo, Yatsen choge ngondrubne, pema june shesurak, kodu kandru mambu kur, keki jesu randru ki, jinje lobshe shesu so, guru pema siri hum, hum jen yuje non zam, pema gesa dungbola, Yatsen choge ngondrubne, Pema june jesura, kodu kandru mambuko, keki jesu randru ki, jinje lobshe shesu so, guru pema siri hum. So, I want to begin by reminding everyone about setting pure motivation. I know it's not necessary to do that, but it is, again, one of those things that just can't hurt to remind everyone that our purpose and intention is that all beings attain enlightenment without obstacle or obscuration, and there's no one left behind. That in an unconditional manner, we embrace the needs of every being, that their suffering could end, and that causes and conditions for their fulfillment and well-being could be accomplished in such a way that is completely unperturbable and fulfilled. And that aspiration as practitioners, even though we say it so many times, I try really hard not to let it get sort of dim, but bring a bright light to it over and over again, as it really establishes our qualifications for stepping further into the glorious path of the Vajrayana and the great perfection and the masters, or Guru Yoga with the great masters. I also apologize because I'm really used to a translator, and so I don't speak very long. I mean, when I'm teaching and I have a translator, I go on and on and on and on. I'm notoriously long-winded. But when I'm here all alone, I'm kind of afraid, sort of. I lose my thoughts and I don't go on very long. And sometimes I just don't have a thought to say. And so in case that happens, and I just kind of stop, please just join me in taking a silent moment. That's about the best thing we can do in those moments. The other thing I want to really start with was by saying is that I'm really, really humbled by this prayer. I'm humbled by the great master Chense Wangpo and all the lineage of the Chense masters. And as my own root guru, had the greatest, highest regard in every possible manner, then I step so softly because I really don't feel qualified to give commentary on this prayer. This is a poetry. It's a song. It's a dagnak. It's the kind of spontaneous songs. Now we all receive Dharma in different ways. The long lineage from, master to student on down through time, and then the Dharma lineages of great realized masters leaving us, treasure troves to find and apply according to the proper time, place, and people. But this category is so remarkable because it is the closest category to between a teacher, a great master, and a disciple. It's the closest intimacy where a great master reveals their own, as he says in the words at the end, he says, like my fingers playing the flute of this song. And it's really like that. It's very hard work to translate this kind of blessing. And I admire the translators so profoundly. And all of you probably know, I'm a very odd duck as it goes for, how I served Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche, because I don't know Tibetan. And I didn't translate from Tibetan. Occasionally people would ask me, when did you learn Tibetan? I said, don't know Tibetan. I didn't learn Tibetan, but Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche spoke in a very unique kind of English that was a little bit challenged, and I would say delightful, but not easy to understand. And so I would listen to him and then reiterate what he said in an English manner that, worked for people. And so I have the highest regards for the translators. Such an amazing thing to do a work like this and render it for all of us to appreciate and enjoy. Even if we didn't have a chance in our lifetimes to, in this lifetime, but we had chances in previous lifetimes for sure to be connected and close. And I also want to appreciate the artwork that was presented for us to see the image of this beautiful Tara by Lhotsal House. And so if you use that link at the end of the text, you can see the glorious image that was the inspiration of this particular poem. And I encourage you to read through carefully all the introduction, some of which Arnie reiterated at the beginning of this particular broadcast. But it gives you a very nice understanding of how things are laid out in the prayer. But what I want to say is that I kind of don't want to mess it up. And so I thought to simply read it. And what little that I might say, I don't want you to think is an intellectual approach, because I'm not qualified for that. And but I am qualified from the approach of devotion and love and awe of the beauty and the power and the kindness of this moment that Chense Wangpo shared with his students and opened the door to let us view and be moved by and be carried by his practice. And that's so kind and intimate. And so maybe all of that is kind of exclaimed in aho. And not only the perfect presence of the Great Mother as the source of all phenomena and the foundation that permeates the totality of reality, that which is inseparable with everything, that his love and intimacy with the great female Buddha is so beautifully exclaimed in that moment. And so from there, I would just like to read. And please read with me. But when you read along with me, imagine that enlightenment in all of its qualities of the three kayas, the Dharmakaya and the Rupakaya, showing in this case as the beautiful rendering of the Sambhogakaya shown in the form of an artwork. This shown in the form of the Guru as the presence for us to have tangible with us, tangible beings who are so often confused about tangibility. I don't even know if that's a word. Tangibility, probably not. I'm also well known for making up words. And so this, I wanted to remind us all that prayer and aspiration and this calling of the principle of enlightenment is a matter of touching truth. It's a matter of cultivating intimacy, an intimacy with perfection. And that's what we see the Guru doing, is cultivating intimacy with perfection. And it's interesting because a lot of times as modern people, I mean, I'm assuming others, but because of my way of doing things, is that I think of an object of prayer as somewhere else, something else. And really, truly, there is no else. There is only not understanding how things truly are. And instead, we get caught by how things seem. And for us, it seems like the deity, the Buddhas, even the Guru, something else, somewhere we need to call and bring closer to us. And truly, we do need to do that because we have this else thing, that we have this separation and all of its inevitable suffering and anxiety of longing and needing and calling. But that is where we are. And so there is the longing and the needing and the calling. And we're so fortunate that we can cultivate intimacy with perfection. And then finally eliminate the scaffolding of climbing to the sky, as the sky is really always present. And so then, like a wave is the ocean, we might get confused and be more interested in the wave, or waiting for the wave, or looking for the wave, or longing for the wave, but the wave and the ocean are not different. So the truth is always present in the appearance of radiant display. And so this is the sublime. This is timeless and perfect. A whole. And so, Om, auspicious white silk of countless virtues, you have perfected the excellent marks, each and every contour of enlightened form. Seeing them ravishes the mind. I long for Arya Tara, the wish-fulfilling wheel. Bestow the city of unchanging, sublime immortality. Tare. All vast and profound teachings that liberate from the ocean of samsara arise from the vina of the noble lady's secret speech. Hearing them brings complete liberation. I long for Arya Tara, the wish-fulfilling wheel. Bestow the city of unceasing Vajranadi. Tutare, wisdom appearance of Mother Prajnaparamita, you protect against the torments of dualistic fixation. Through remembering you, the Supreme is granted. I long for Arya Tara, the wish-fulfilling wheel. Bestow the city of the unmistaken luminous essence. Dure, the youthful vigor of your compassion is swift like lightning. Great blissful companion, you mesmerize with 10 million qualities of renunciation and realization. You shower down the twofold benefit. I long for Arya Tara, the wish-fulfilling wheel. Bestow the city of effortless and limitless enlightened qualities. Soha, granting all things virtuous and good just as they are. Splendor of the supreme magical display of pacifying, increasing, magnetizing, and subjugating. You pervade all of samsara and nirvana. I long for Arya Tara, the wish-fulfilling wheel. Bestow the city of unobstructed, enlightened activity to grant everything desirable. May the lotus feet of the eminent holders of the teachings remain firm for 100 eons. May the vast world be pervaded with the illumination of teaching, practice, and activity. And while devout rulers, ministers, and citizens enjoy the 10 virtues, may the city of the spontaneous fulfillment of wishes be bestowed. In the sky, rainbow clouds of the 5 wisdoms below. In midair, flowers of virtue and goodness fall like raindrops. And on the earth, I offer this auspicious song of joyfulness for all beings as a virtuous aspiration for all the world. Composed by the servant who delights of the lake-born Guru Pema Odsal Ling. on the occasion of a sadhana offering ritual of the noble wish-fulfilling moon. The flute of these words of supplication, remembering her inconceivable secrets, was played by the fingers of whatever arose in my mind. May the light of virtue and goodness pervade all the worlds and become everlasting. So I hope that you all are able to embrace and become inseparable with both guru and practice, and the beauty of the qualities of openness, emptiness, radiance, mind. And that this resound. And what I really feel most is joy. To rejoice and rejoice. And it's almost what I feel like is exuding from this great kindness is just the nectar of joy. So, Arnie, that's kind of all I have to offer. I wish I could say more, but I think anything else is just leave my big fat footprints around everywhere that I don't want to do that. And so I turn it to you.
It's all wonderful. Thank you so much for this. It's so heartwarming. When you read the translation, since two of our three translators are here, do you want to ask them anything or discuss with them anything, or?
I'm very interested in the term of Vajra Nada, Vajra, where is it now? I can't see it. Vajra Nada. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Again, I apologize. All my pronunciation of things is always wonky. And but I am very, very interested in what that refers to. And I looked in the notes. I wasn't able to go to the text that was referred to. So maybe there's someone who can say.
Yeah, Nishita or Dana, would you like to address that?
Hello, Lamala. It's so lovely to hear you read this with such reverence and beauty. And it's interesting how this poem sounds so different and beautiful, having someone like you read it. And so thank you so much for just how you delivered it. It's really, really touching. In terms, speaking about this term, there's not much that I can say about it. There's the footnote that was included with this, and that was added by Adam Kane, who was the sort of mentor translator for Nishita and I working on this text. And in the reading room, if you're looking at the text, you can, click on the footnote and it'll bring it up. And it's, talking about this term has the sense of the indestructible, unstruck sound of underlying reality, a synonym for primordial, indestructible, great vital essence.
I just love
yeah.
the unstruck part. That's so fabulous.
Yeah. And Nishita may have more to add to it. But thank you so much, Lamala. It was so beautiful.
My pleasure. Very, very great pleasure.
And Lamala, we got one question from a participant asking if you could speak a little bit to the joy of rejoicing or the power of rejoicing.
Well, this is a kind of, I don't know, I kind of think of it as a hack, because not that that's a nice word particularly, but this is something that Rinpoche always taught. Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche always taught us that the power of joy is that it joins whatever virtue was created, or non-virtue, and these who have both sides. So if you're happy that's in someone's failure, you're joining in that non-virtue through joy. And so you have to be careful about that side. But the power of this immeasurable quality is that you accumulate equal to the creator of the virtue. Your virtuous accumulation is equal. As a drop in the ocean becomes equal to the ocean, the joy allows us to become equal. Our virtue becomes equal with the Buddhas. To rejoice in the activities of the Buddhas becomes equal to the virtues of the Buddha. And so that is like so, I mean, not that I'm only rejoicing in order for accumulating. There's the delight and the wordlessness of complete thrilling quality to something so beautiful as this song. But rejoicing, it's what I imagine he was doing, is enjoying. He's enjoying truth. He's enjoying joy, enjoying the radiance of truth and all of the blessings of the intimacy to the non-division of his true nature and radiant display. So amazing. I rejoice in all that.
Thank you so much. Dharma, I think you have also a question, right?
I do have a question, yes. I was actually wondering if you would please tell us about any stories that you may know from Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche about his experiences with White Tārā or his relationship to White Tārā, or whether he had any special bond to her and how that manifested in him, and whether he told you any special stories. I know his mother was very extraordinary, so I'd love to hear anything about that.
Well, I'm very happy to say, Rinpoche's mother, Dawa Droma, was considered an emanation of White Tārā, and very, he said often that on holy days, people would see her as White Tārā with eyes in her hands and feet, and the seven-eyed version, and that it was something that he told of occasionally. Rinpoche was funny about those kind of things. Who you really should ask this question of is Khandro, because she's the expert in all the telling of the stories much better than me. But I had the opportunity to listen again and again and again and just repeat. My opportunity was repetition, and so this story I heard very, very many times, and so, as all the deities are in essence really the same, even though we all have different connections to them, and they manifest according to our needs, what's important for us to find our way, then she manifested. His own mother was considered White Tārā, and I think this always, in his family, was known there would always be Tara emanation in his family, one generation after another. And Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche was himself really a Tara practitioner in many categories, particularly the red category of Tara. But it sort of can't leave any of them out. They are all inseparable. And he used to say there were millions and millions and uncountable numbers of Taras. And then he would refine them, 108 and 21 and on like this over and over. So, yes, very, very intimate. Rinpoche was interesting because he was a great visionary himself. But he didn't talk about that. He told occasionally things about Tara and Tara statues, for example, that talked. And I was very warmed by the story of this Tonka that radiated lights and talked, and Rinpoche had occasion talking about things like that often.
Can I ask, is that a statue that you have, that the Gonpa has?
Yes, we have a very beautiful white Tara, 7-eyed white Tara here at Odsal Ling that's just stunning. And you can't walk by that statue with your head held high. It's amazing. It always causes you to bend. It's so amazing, that statue. It just really is compelling that way. And so, yes, we have in almost all of our places, there is white Tara.
Thank you. Alex Kong, I think you have a related question. Could you please?
Hello, Lama Tsering. Yeah, nice to meet you here.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you, and I think I'm really enjoying your reading through the whole prayer, because recently I've been in a very heavy workload, so I'm still working, and then I stop, and then to hear all the prayers, very touching. Thank you. And also, I personally wish to ask you a question: how you normally relate to White Tara? I mean, sometimes we are so busy. How to be working and dealing with all those challenges, and then again and again relate to her. I sometimes might forget about her, so I wish to hear your experience. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the question. It's a very nice question. I think that always the first hook or the first link is the guru. And you remember the guru as the presence of the blessings in your life. Like the guru is the reason you have the Dharma. The guru is your fortunate karma manifest in such a way that you could hear the teachings, that you could receive the blessings, that you could have even be able to know the deity is because of the guru. And that remembering in your daily life, remembering the Lama really links you always to the four thoughts and the idea that, yes, I'm so fortunate. Oh my goodness, I'm so fortunate. I have this human life right there at work. I have this human life right there in traffic. I have this one, in the shower, on the pot. I have this. It's sort of like, again, we just skip that so easily because we want something else, that else thing. It's such a power in our mind it robs us of so much. And so the fact that you really have the guru and you have this life, it's something like, and I think it's important to like bring that to bear over coffee. Bring it to your mind again over everything, brushing your teeth, combing your hair, in an elevator. It's just, there's no exception to it. And there's only our distraction, which of course is honest. There is the distraction. And so formal practice helps you with that, because it helps you be able to be more present and awake in your daily life, because you sit down and do your practice on a timeline and according to the teachings you've received. You sit down and do your practice. Then when you get up, you carry your practice with you all the time. So, it's a 24/7 thing. It really is. It's just that part of the 24/7 is like we get to sit down and do it intentionally, but then we get up and we go and we do it all the time. And remembering the Lama helps you really understand everything, the four thoughts, your precious human life, and your opportunity, which brings you to refuge. And that compassion for the tragedy of unenlightened beings is awakened by your remembering of the Lama. Everything is increased by remembering the Lama. Everything. It's just like, I don't know, it's like the moisture in it all. It gets kind of dry or something. And so the moisture in it all is the remembering of the Guru. And that is Tara. Like the Buddha, the Guru is the Buddha. And what the Guru gives you is the Yidam, and the practice gives you Tara, who's giving you the truth so that you can practice the truth rather than practice just carrying on with how things seem. Instead, embracing how things are, which is the truth, which is the Buddha, which is your nature, which is Tara. And so I think that the key in every case for all of us, no option here. The key is the Guru.
Thank you very much. We have a question in Chinese from Yun Huo, and I understand that the question is that the first three verses of our text, they're addressing Vajra body, Vajra speech, and Vajra mind. And if you could talk a little bit more about these three Vajras.
Humbly, I would say that we all know body, speech, and mind. We have them. We have our body, our physicality. We were born, we get sick, we get old, we die, we're mortal. We have this kind of container, and it supports our idea of speech and our rendering of sound and communication. And it is really driven and ruled by our mind and what we think and what we like and what we dislike and how we are in terms of hopes and fears, and our general kind of operating principles are these three. It's like a tripod of body, speech, and mind. And that is what is normal for us. It's normal we have this. We don't kind of look at it. We don't kind of think about it. We don't really pay much attention. It's just sort of the way it is, and we run. and we go. And then we only slow down if we, I don't know, sprain an ankle, or, we have an argument with a friend, or, something might bump us or slow us down, but we're still just doing body, speech, and mind. And we've extended it to the body of our children, to the body of our world, to the body of the physicality of everything as body. It's ordinary. It's what we think of as life. It's how it seems. But how it really is Vajra body, Vajra speech, and Vajra mind. That's how it is. And we don't detect that. We don't see that because we are so busy trying to get what we want and avoid what we don't want. We're so busy with hope and fear. We're so busy with our anxieties and our intention to kind of like reify who we are, increase our physicality with, stuff and places to go and people, and make it all seem real and then make us feel real. We're so busy with all that. But none of it is an iota beyond impermanent. None of it. It's all just a swimming, moving, dancing impermanence. But Vajra body, that is unborn. Vajra body is undying. Vajra body is uncreated. It's indestructible. It's true. It's free. It's the nature of emptiness, inseparable with everything. That is Buddha body. That is Buddha. That is the truth of your body. It's the truth of body. Enlightened body. And it's not that it's somewhere else. It's just hidden. And with Vajra speech, it's the same. Sound. We're so busy with it. Oh my goodness. A hiccup will get my attention. It doesn't take anything, we're so moved, our helplessness to a sound. But that's how it seems. And Rinpoche, my teacher, Chagdud Tulku Rinpoche, used to tease me. And he would say, Saringla, why are you so upset? It's just wind on vocal cords. And I would get so irritated, like, I know it's wind on vocal cords, but they shouldn't have said that, So helpless to sound and needing it to be right, when really sound is emptiness sounding. Emptiness inseparable with every sound is the sounding of enlightenment. Every sound, not somewhere else sound, not somewhere else perfect sound. All sound is already perfect. That's Vajra speech. That is the sounding of enlightenment. And it's the same with mind. We have our ordinary mind of hope and fear and jumpy thing. Oh my goodness, this thing is just like rolling and fascinating and intriguing and perplexing and such narcissism of involvement of what I think and what I like and what I don't like. But that ordinary mind is inseparable with perfection. Perfection can't be left out of you or anything. Perfection is not optional. It is already. And so that Vajra mind, openness, emptiness, awareness, is your mind. is Buddha mind. But we're so lost in our hopes and fears. We're so lost in our duality, me and not me, and what I want and what I don't want, and projection of everything on everything, naming everything. Oh my goodness, we're so busy. We're so busy we never look back. So Vajra body, Vajra speech, Vajra mind. Kind of defies too much comment.
Thank you. There, even though that is of course, the essence, there is a question about the complexity, the many details that are maybe necessary in the visualization. And the question is, yeah, how can we manage this, with all the different aspects? And also a related question is, if we receive green Tārā, red Tārā, or white Tārā transmissions, shall we practice all of them, or can we just choose one? And how would we choose one?
There's the approach in terms of training the mind and bringing the mind to the visualization from the ordinary distractions of everyday life and our preoccupation with everything. It's like we are giving a priority to our guru. We're giving a priority to our master, appearing as the deity. Whoever gave you the empowerment, gave you the deity, they gave you their practice. And they blessed you with their practice because you went to them and you said, oh, please, Guru, I want to help all sentient beings. I really want to end this delusion and confusion of unenlightened mind because there's too much suffering in it. In order that all beings could attain enlightenment, please could you give me a method that would cause me to purify karma and accumulate merit, and most of all, experience directly the true nature of enlightened being, so that I could serve the enlightenment of all other beings. And so the Lama then says, okay, sure, I'll do that. I'll give you that, and I'll give you that. And then the teacher gives you their practice through empowerment. They're inviting you. And in the empowerment, if you go back, because the empowerment is kind of a key how to do the practice. You go to each of the processes and steps, and the empowerment are elucidating how to do the practice. And so each step, there's the step of, refuge, there's the step of bodhicitta, there's the step of making offerings and conquering our selfishness, there's the step of cultivating the intimacy by approach to the deity. So it's showing you all the ways that you practice in your life. And then you relax your mind and you let the Lama bestow the blessings of inviting the deity to be inseparable with you. And you carry that by visualization. You go along with the visualization. And that gives you shows you the manner of going along with the visualization. You're making the effort to allow pure phenomena, the pure radiance of non-divided intrinsic awareness as the deity. That is the truth of everything. It's not just the truth of the practice. It's the truth of everything. And the problem is we just aren't tuned in. We're like distracted. We're going a different direction. We're lost in our own hopes and fears and our own confusion of ordinary mind. And so we don't see it But that's the truth. That's the only truth. Everything else is kind of true-ish. Sort of. A little bit on occasion. So, kind of. I mean, okay. We play with it. And then, like children who take up an imaginary friend as if they were real, we take up our life as if it was real. We have our imaginary friends. I used to, when I was a child, throw a blanket over a glass table, and it was my house. I had a whole life there under that blanket on the glass table. We are living our imagination and our play and our karma. It's only true-ish. And what is true has never moved. Vajra body has never moved. Vajra speech, Vajra mind. It has never abandoned us. It's not somewhere else. It isn't something you're going to grow up and become, because you are. It is already true. We're just confused, like someone in a dream not knowing they're dreaming. And so the thing about visualization is that you're bringing your mind back. You're visualizing because you're not seeing the truth. So the best thing that we can do, following the kindness of our guru, is visualize exactly how it is if we could see it. It's not kind of that you're making it. You're not really making Buddha. You're unmaking. You're not Buddha. And the technique is so powerful because you visualize yourself as the deity, because that's what is the true nature of form, is radiant light. Radiant, brilliant, unceasing, non-divided appearance, emptiness, light. That's what's true. But what we see is clunky, born, getting old, dying. It's kind of like our cocoon. Now I'm mixing metaphors. I'm also notorious for that. I'm mixing lots of metaphors. And the process of visualization is bringing your mind back to the truth. So you exercise the effort, but you also let go of the effort. You visualize and you bring yourself, it's kind of like your creativity. You bring yourself to it. You visualize it. It's your hand, it's your art. You visualize it, but then, as in this case with the prayer and with all the supplications and the callings, you're calling Tara to abide there. Although Tara could never be missing, it's like you're remembering that Tara is there. And I mentioned earlier scaffolding. It's kind of a scaffolding that you build visualization with an effort. You're making an effort, and you're training your mind from being distracted to exercising, intentionally, intellectually exercising a pure view, but it is still intellectual. You're still, using paints and paper. You're still drawing and composing and struggling, right? Struggling. So in that you've made your offering and perfection abides there, you relax your mind. You relax the effort, because perfection isn't made. it's uncovered. And you do it again and again. However many times you need, you do it again. But always in effort and effortless. Development and completion. And ultimately the best is when they're inseparable. So it's a little bit of trial and tribulation, and at first we draw and paint like first graders, and but with practice, it becomes easier, and ultimately, it exceeds the practice of effort by effortlessness.
Thank you so much. Just Anna, before you have your question, we had one question earlier, but I feel maybe you have answered it already. It is about the deathlessness that Tara is granting us. So is that our practice of the Tara is enabling us realizing our unborn, unceasing nature, right? Is
Yes.
that what you? Yeah. Okay, then Anna, you had a question. Where are you? You just had your hand up. If not, I can read it also. Okay, then I'm reading it. When we talk about these four qualities, increasing, pacifying, and subjugating, and magnetizing, could you talk a little bit more on the magnetizing quality and what is the difference to the other three qualities? Thank you.
When Rinpoche taught this to me when I was first learning the Dharma, he was so skillful as he knew I loved jewelry. So he used a ring as an example. He said, look, here, it's like a beautiful ring. It has a beautiful stone. But if you look at it from this facet, you see it one way. You look at it from another facet, you see another way. You look at it from the other side, you see it another way. But it's the same stone. And so enlightenment has these qualities or radiances or activities of looking at it from this side of the Vajra side of pacification and the Ratna side of increase and the Pema side of magnetism and the karma side of activity. You're looking at the same stone from different angles, different aspects. And that stone has those aspects. So Buddha has these, qualities. And magnetism is always the one that we seem to have the most confusion about. I notice people being more asking questions about it, maybe just for me, but I receive a lot of questions about that. And with magnetism, it is about our mind. Our mind is gone. Our mind is lost. Our mind is lost. We're busy. Like, we got places to go and things to do. We're just, we're so lost and just kind of wandering around from this thing that's interesting to that thing that's interesting to another thing that's interesting. And okay, I need to do that. I got to do that. And we're just kind of helpless, like lost. And the iron filings are kind of lost until the magnet, it just stands them upright and brings them home. And that's what happens with your mind. You have to magnetize your mind. my mind is just gone helplessly and desperate, not knowing what to do, which way to turn, or knowing what to do and which way to turn, and then you die, and it wasn't that, and you're just lost again. So this quality of enlightenment is that it turns you. It's the turn. It's so amazing, that power to turn. And having turned, you know where to go. You know what's true. You know what you are. You are free in your essence, in your being. And so your mind, my mind, has to turn again and again. However many times you turn away, you have to turn back. That's magnetism. And in terms of others, it's the power to, I think it's the power to capture attention, to be able to influence, that you could, that they could hear, that they could learn, that they could understand what's important. You know, it's very interesting, magnetism, because it's so easily corrupted. It's so easily corrupted with trying to get what you want. I want this, I want that, I need this, I need that, I got to go here, I want this person to like me. All of these things are just all just a kind of obsession of desire. But our desire as practitioners is that they attain enlightenment. That's the desire. Not that I attain enlightenment, because I actually can't. I'm sorry. It just can't do it. I is not going to be able to do it. It's an oxymoron. Can't do it. It's ridiculous. But that they could attain enlightenment means I need the power to influence. And I need to know in my being what that is to be influenced by, or through, or in. And so magnetism is very important. It's very important. And, you know, sort of like if you think about the Vajra family activities as, you know, removing obstacles, healing, creating the blessing of purity, the Ratna are to increase and fulfill the needs that are necessary, so a being doesn't have to be like overly worked to try and find more all the time, needing more. They can experience what they need and the essence of what they need, which is equanimity. Then you get to magnetism, and it's how to ignite the mind into recognition and stand those iron filings up and bring them home. And that your Buddha nature is truly home. And from there, the activity of manifesting in whatever way is necessary for the benefit of beings. That your wish is they all attain enlightenment. I don't know, that's just a few thoughts.
Thank you so much. I think we have all the questions answered. Before we conclude, Lamala, do you want to conclude the topic?
You know, I think that you're so fortunate, all of you, that you have the time and the opportunity to have teachings, and you have such a magnificent conditions of your own karmic fortune, to have the lineage, to have the gurus, to have your human body. But you have to remember it's not for long. I mean, I know this is the boring Buddhist topic about impermanence. Yes, yes. I used to get so irritated because Rinpoche would tell me over and over and over again, he would say, Tsering, everything is impermanent. I'm going to die. You're going to die. I said, yes, I know, Rinpoche. Do we have to talk about it again? Do we have to talk about it again? And he said, yes, we have to talk about it again. Because it's just like, it is the topic. And it is what we forget. And we are too absorbed with impermanent phenomena, and we get lost. It isn't that phenomena has to go away, and it isn't that it's wrong or bad. It's just that we forget that it's impermanent and that it's not the solution. It's not the answer. The essence is the answer. That essence that is timeless and unconditional and inseparable with everything gives you the perfection of Pure Land and deity and mantra and Buddha mind, openness mind. Impermanence will take you all the way. Don't forget impermanence. It's so powerful. It will take you right to what is not impermanent. So thank you very much for listening and for practicing and for caring about others. That it's so, it honors your teacher every time you do that. And so as it all goes back to the guru and the kindness and the inseparability for you and all beings. Thanks for inviting me and rejoicing in all that you do and all that turns the wheel of the Dharma.
Thank you so much. And we are, of course, so honored that you accepted our invitation. And of course, we hope that that we will be able to host you again and again, for such events in the future. It was really so touching and so to the point. So thank you so much. And also, thank you to all the translators. You did a wonderful job doing that simultaneously. Also, thank you so much to our technical support on Lama Tsering's side. This is Tiago and his team. And here on KVP side, we have Ina, Rashmi, and Christian. And in 1 week, sort of, on the 1st of July, we will do a tutorial on this text. This is what we do usually. Part of so team members, we are discussing on this text, who was involved in the translation. So you will see an announcement soon. And also, everybody, please have a look in the chat there. We posted also how you can support Lama Tsering Everest. So please use that link. And of course, please use our reading room to dive deeper into this text and other texts. And Dormala, please conclude the session.
I just wanted to echo everything you said, Arne, and thank you so much, Lama Tsering. That really, really was incredibly inspiring and profound and very, very beautiful to be present at. So thank you so much. I really, from the depth of my heart, I request you to please teach again for the Cancer Vision Project. We have so many wonderful texts, but are just waiting to be explored and brought to life. And it's such a joy to have you here to be able to really imbue this special text with a very, inspiring, lovely energy. So please come again and please teach again on behalf of everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Maybe just
Thank you,
dedicate
Arnie,
them.
as well.
Maybe we just dedicate the merit. Let's not forget that. Thank you, Dharma. Sharing is caring. So let's do that. By this merit, may all attain omniscience. May it defeat the enemy of wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara, may all beings be free. Lord of the ocean of teachings in Tibet without bias, universal monarch of 7 wondrous transmissions, Jamin Khenze Wangpo, Manjugosha in person, may all be auspicious for your lineage to spread and flourish. As long as space remains, as long as the world remains, may I too remain to elevate the sufferings of the world. Thank you.
Thank you.